It's a Thursday, people. It's hot on the block. It's hot outside. It's hot on the base pass. Money is flowing. This is your stimulus check right here on a Thursday. It's Donnie Rightside. It's Joe Lisi. It's Crossing Lines. The boys back together for another hour and a half. And the topics today, they ain't going to stop, Joe. Baseball ain't going to stop. Soccer ain't going to stop. And also, the hot takes that you need to know from our trending section today. Built up, ready to rock.
No, muy caliente, Donnie.
Yeah.
We're on the precipice of the
Taylor Swift. Ifeo, let's go.
Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce getting married. We have the U.S. wins and advances to the round of 16. We hit our baseball game yesterday with the Giants in Arizona. Yep. What better than this? And day baseball yet again. Pirates and Phillies, nothing better. And by the way, it pays to be a Philly fan with Jaylen Brown now, a 76er. They got rid of old man Paul George. Amazing.
Yeah, we're going to get to that multiple times in this show. But as we set the table, as Joe pointed out, we got a lot of great stuff to talk about. The U.S. still playing soccer next Monday night, going to be in Seattle against Belgium. The red card that happened, that's ridiculous. We have time to spend on that. Jaylen Brown to the Philadelphia 76ers, ridiculous. And let's just start with that Jaylen Brown real quick on that news that came down. I was driving to the Philadelphia Phillies game yesterday, and I got sent a tweet. Because, by the way, I can't tweet and drive. I'm not paying attention. My buddy Scott sends it to us here. And I said, oh, my God. Like, I almost had to crash my car. Now, get this, Joe. We're all in the business together, right? Maybe the biggest trade deal that's gone down in Philadelphia in a decade happens. So what do you do while you're in the car locally? You push the channels. You want to hear about it. You want to hear that. You go Phillies in a pregame. You got to be kidding me. So I flip it over to the other station in Philadelphia, 97.5. Yeah. They're on a replay of their morning show. I was ready to kill myself in the car, Joe.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
They stole Jaylen Brown. They stole him, Donnie. I mean, they gave up an old man. They gave up a washed-up player, and Paul George, again, like AD, like potentially LeBron, right? They're not going to play 82 games in the regular season. You get a workhorse, a bell cow, to potentially lead you to an Eastern Conference championship. And he's similar to what the Knicks have in Jalen Brunson. They can ride Jaylen Brown to potentially an East championship.
Welcome, everybody, in the chat box, having some fun, because, again, these topics are absolutely fire. When I mean fire, we're over 100 degrees here in the state of New Jersey, the Northeast, in a heat dome right now, and the action is hot. Now, as I said, Joe, I was in the car. We're going to get to Jaylen Brown, go over all the stuff that happened with that, odds where they're shifting, prediction markets where LeBron might be going now. Those are changing. But, Joe, it was 100 degrees yesterday. As I got down to the stadium, it was like 85 degrees, but muggy. We got there as a family on fireworks night in the second inning. We didn't make any fireworks. The fireworks were going home early by the fifth inning and getting home to watch the second half of the U.S. men's national team game, Joe. And I say when the heat is. Joe has a play today, which we're going to get to here, in the Philadelphia Phillies-Pittsburgh Pirates game. It's 104 degrees it's going to be, Joe. Like, I'm looking at my watch right now. It's 12:04. I have 93, which means we're going well over 100 today. Ridiculous, man.
Yeah, I was driving last night like 8:30 at night, and the car was still recording 97 degrees down by the Jersey Shore. So when you talk about the ability to be out there and watch a 9-inning baseball game that, oh, by the way, had 16 runs, and they wrapped Paul Skenes around a telephone pole last night. I mean, unbelievable. I mean, it's very rare that you see, I mean, the pre-pitch total last night was 8, right? Yes. Typically for Skenes, you're depending upon the matchup, 6.5, 7, 7.5. This was an 8, and Phillies, we talked about it. They started slow in game 1. They're starting to heat up now, and those bats are coming around. Keep an eye out for Philadelphia the rest of the way. I actually like them and this total later today.
Fantastic stuff. That's an afternoon game. I got some good spots I have today, and also have already tweeted those out. Joe is big on Twitter and social media, same as I as well. At Donnie Rightside, at Go for the Two, at Crossing X Lines here. If you miss one of us, chances are somebody else is going to pick us up here. So you got 3 chances to get the plays and the information that you need. And you know me, Joe, a maven, learning new tricks here. Did you see the promo video for the show today, Joe?
I did with the dogs.
Yeah, wow. The dogs. Not the dogs. The dogs wasn't in the Did you see the video itself? Because I forgot to tag you in it, by the way. It was nice.
No, I didn't.
I went on CapCut, Joe. I put pictures in there. I got music in the background. I got explosions going off telling the people, get here with Joe Lisi and DRS.
Well, we have July 4th on the horizon. We have the hot dog eating contest. I tweeted out me and you eating hot dogs. I don't think, honestly, they're filled with nitrates. I don't think I can eat them.
I do like a couple hot dogs. But you're right about this. Hey, Donnie, get into a hot dog contest. That's a bellyache, man. Like, I'm not in the belly. Like, I like to eat a lot of good food. That's not good food. You know what I mean?
No, but you got to eat the buns, too, and then you got to dip. I mean, that contest is ridiculous. But here's the thing. The chestnut thing and the big... Is he on PEDs? Because when Kobayashi was the top guy, he was only in the area of about 50 hot dogs, and Kobayashi was at 73. He closed the gap so quick, Donnie, and then all of a sudden, now nobody can catch him. You're telling me there's nobody in the States or abroad that could catch Joey Chestnut right now?
Now, how about this, too, Joe? Here's the deal. Why are they allowed to eat the buns and the hot dogs separate and dip it? Like, you do need water because you can't have the guy eating like 50 hot dogs with nothing to wash it down with. I get it. But can we just go back to, Joe, eating the hot dog as it was supposed to be eaten? Bun, not dipping it in water, and a hot dog. Like, that's what we want, right?
Well,
no? Am I wrong?
I mean, you're trying to keep with tradition, right? So, like, you eat the hot dog.
Nobody eats their hot dog. Like, hey, Joe, you go to Joey's barbecue down the street. Hey, Lisi, what do you got? I got a couple hot dogs. Give me the bun separate from the hot dog, and I'm going to dip the bun in water, then eat the hot dog. No. No.
Technique. Isn't it like technique?
Yeah, but I don't like the technique.
Well, I mean, is that
Make me commissioner.
Well, make you commissioner. I mean, what if the guy wants relish on it? Could he get relish on it?
But condiments, all you can eat, Joe. You want to. And by the way.
So wait a minute. There's no condiment. I didn't
condiments.
Know this.
You can have condiments, but that's going to weigh you down. Though. How much relish you going to have on these bad boys to get them down? But understand this as well. You know me, Joe. I'm a stickler for things. You come in my, sandwich shop. You're trying to get gum up my Italian hoagie. I'm not going to let you do it with mayo. Ketchup for a little kid, fantastic on a hot dog. What's the age that you go to mustard where you're not allowed back? Do you go to 18? Because adults with ketchup on a hot dog, as you like to say, Joe, wrap them around a telephone pole.
Yeah, no, here's the thing. If I'm commissioner, you can't use the Frenchies. I refuse to.
You need the brown mustard, right? Yeah, you can't go yellow. No yellow mustard? Okay.
I love to put on airs. I'm more Grey Poupon, right? I'm up there, right? Give me the Grey Poupon.
I don't like the Grey Poupon. I like the stone ground mustard. Just give me like the Gouldens. I'm down with a nice little Gouldens brown Gouldens spicy mustard.
Good. Frenchies should be banned. I mean, Frenchies is like pure, like yellow 5, dye 5, right?
Correct.
You have it on your body for like 17 years after you eat it, right? Isn't that
like spackle in the bowels, they say.
Well, I don't know. Well, let me ask you this. They said if you used to chew gum and swallow it, it stays in your stomach.
Yeah, which is all false. I think, what did a teacher make that up too? I think a teacher told that up to the kids so they won't be chewing gum in class at this point. But see, like the hot dog competitions are coming this weekend. It is going to be hot, ready to go. But also, like other things that are around, like Mina Rizuki is going to join us. We're going to go over all the World Cup action in just a few moments. And so much fun to go over because we as Americans, Joe, we're trying to get into soccer. The electricity environment so awesome yesterday in Santa Clara out where the 49ers play. But now you try to get us involved, and we understand like the targeting penalty is what we get upset with at times in professional football and certainly college football. Like if you purposely do something where you target, like your Chuck Cecil back in the day, of course you should be thrown out of the game.
Right.
But if you have a targeting call where you're going for the football and your helmets collapse, smack each other, you have to have some reasoning on the football field. And last night, that red card for Balogun, if you slow it down and look like, oh my God, but intent to injure wasn't there. You make a play on the ball, you step on somebody's ankle, it ends, yellow card, you move on. If you punch somebody in the face, if you headbutt somebody on purpose, Joe, if they're going in for a goal and you just tackle them from behind, red card. The red card last night, ridiculous for me.
It was horrible. I mean, here's the thing, too. You could clearly see, Donnie, that he's extending his leg to get at least a shot on the soccer ball, right? He missed it and then hit his Achilles. I understand the guy's writhing in pain. I understand that. But the point is, you give him not a yellow, you give him a red? Totally ridiculous.
And by the way, Joe, we have, it's almost like sometimes you want to see, like, hey, if you have a bad hit in football where you took a cheap shot and blew the guy's ACL out, some people are like, hey, that guy's out for a year. You're out for a year as well. But if the penalty was a red card and you got to sit out the rest of this game, be a man short, let's just say, and the next game, the other dude after the red card pops up like, hey, I'm good to go. Let's rock. Like, should that be downgraded immediately to a yellow card?
So you're saying, like, we know about the flopping in soccer, right? You can make the argument with the WWE and all that stuff, and and the NBA. We rip it all the time. Yeah. I get that, but the guy clearly pops up, and here's the other thing, Donnie. They're not going to appeal this, and there hasn't been, in 120 years, FIFA hasn't overturned a decision like this. So you just don't even give it a shot? They're not going to appeal at all? They're not going to do anything?
Now,
what happened?
The mystery, Joe, of this, right, is this is being played in the United States of America here.
Okay.
The 4th of July is coming up. The president seems to be good friends with the FIFA president here, Joe. I'm just saying, you want ratings to be up, profitability to be up, and you want to set a president around the world that it's like, you know what? We love soccer here in America. We're trying to buy in. You're going to take our best player away? Joe, emergency meeting. Come out of that meeting. No red card, downgrade to a yellow.
So let me ask you this. You think it's going to be announced that there's an emergency meeting, or you think it's going to happen behind, hey, come down to West Palm or Palm Beach, and we'll talk about it at Mar-a-Lago? That's what you expect? That's what you think is going to happen? Because if he goes out and calls a meeting, it looks like we're trying to finagle our way to a potential title. I mean, you think that's going to happen? They're not going to appeal at all? And then
sanctions. Joe, sanctions. I don't care what we have to do. We'll sanction everybody here. We'll cancel the World Cup at this point where nobody can play it anymore. By the way, chat box, Jack Folk says, let's be real. We don't love soccer. He's right about that. But we love World Cup soccer. Once the World Cup is over, we're not watching soccer anymore in the United States until the Women's World Cup comes on, and then we'll watch it again when the men are here. Because it's like, hey, I love football. Like, Joe loves football. Division 1A, ready to rock, ready to go. I love it as well. We love the NFL. You know what we don't love? USFL, Arena League nonsense. Now, granted, there's a coach out here that we love who coaches Arena League. I don't want to take shots right now, but I'm telling you, I love football at the highest level. I love soccer at the highest level with the World Cup. Once it ends, I'm not talking soccer anymore. Just not.
No, it's not. I mean, it's a bigger question now, too, is can this U.S. team, without him, if he's not going to be there, advance potentially yet again? The pressure is on. That is the biggest thing, is that we knew it would be an uphill battle potentially as you get closer to the best teams in this tournament. Teams like, obviously, France and what we saw, Argentina, the two best heading into this weekend. But can the U.S. survive without their best player? Can they, Donnie? I mean, are you still willing to bet, if this doesn't go through, that you would still take a shot?
It's the shame of it, too, because I think, and I speak on half of Americans watching soccer casually like I do, which is most of us here. We're buying in. We are having fun. And I said at the beginning of the World Cup, once again, I don't generally like soccer, but I love the World Cup. I think it's fantastic. It's the biggest prize in sports, and it's so much fun to watch it play out. And the national pride from every single team playing is overwhelmingly awesome. So what do? The U.S. isn't used to advancing. Now you take away their best player in the next game where they might be able to get to the Elite Eight, as we like to say. That's the disappointing part. I want a full gas American team going against a full gas Belgium. But, Joe, I could understand this. Balogun takes a run, cleats up, and sticks the goalie with his cleat in his head out of nowhere. Yeah, idiot, get off their red card. But for me, Joe, I look at that and say, how is that a red card? I see worse every single game from different shots. How?
Yeah, you would think that it's a terrible call. And we talk about officials and referees all the time. Like, what are you looking at in the moment, especially when you see that he's clearly extended, reaching for the ball? Like, I don't understand. It's everybody that watches the video feels the same way. It's not like we're partial. I think if you surveyed 1,000 people, 999 of them are going to say that it wasn't a red card. If anything, all right, give him a yellow, no big deal. But here we are, and this is the situation. Now, I will say, you look at the spread perspective, they're still favored, -112 across multiple books against Belgium, Donnie. I mean, here's the thing. If they miss them and they still respond, this team might be for real.
Yeah, Coach SD in the chat box, there was no bad intent. That's the whole thing about it. Like, intent matters in this spot. And also, Joe, there wasn't even hey, I'm going to give you a yellow card or a red card, then we're going to go to VAR to check it out. It was no card, and then they went to VAR and went right to red card. Right. Not even like, hey, look, we're going to book you at yellow. You do something again the rest of this game, you're getting another one, which equals a red card, and you're ejected at that point. But that's what I thought was the worst part overall about it, where you had so much excitement in the stadium, and yes, it was great that they won, Joe. But then you backtrack and say you lose your best offensive weapon trying to get into Seattle over the next time. But how did you enjoy the game yesterday, Joe? Because I told you I was in the car, missed the first half, actually saw the goal while I was driving in the car, then got home, and then panic sets in, Joe. This isn't a red card in the 88th minute. You're talking in the 60s here, which means, 25 plus minutes, you got to play a man down, and the U.S. extends the lead to 2-0. That was impressive.
It was. And, you know, if you were sitting on the total, like we talked about potentially over 2.5 when USA's best player goes down, you got to think that could open things up, right? Especially just from an emotional aspect, they tack another one on. You got to think Bosnia is good for at least one goal. And defensively, the U.S. buckled up. They understood the moment. And again, with the home field advantage, that's huge in this tournament. We've seen teams like Mexico and others respond when they have home field advantage, Donnie. The U.S. has answered the bell. Now, again, if they get this victory over Belgium, big picture, this is huge for this team. This would be the biggest step for this program and organization over the past 20 or 30 years.
I love it. Like, again, we're buying in as Americans here. Give us something to cheer for and keep it fair at this point. And sometimes it isn't. But yesterday, Joe, other things happen. I'll tell you, like, my mother-in-law lives with me. She's yelling Harry Kane scored again, Joe, in the middle of the afternoon because the man, we were live. And the shame of it all, too, is, I want to do, let me just bring it up right here, right? Like, I would have hit this when we scored a goal. I think the minute we shut the telecast off yesterday, Harry Kane scored.
Yeah, it was incredible, right? We talked about the pressure. When we talked about just the game as a whole, what was it? Newbie talked about the hydration break, that if they weren't even by the hydration break, potentially.
Who is that? Zuckerberg, Joe, by the way, in that picture to the right? Is that Zuckerberg number 18?
It does look like him. You think he AI'd him, number 18? The kid looks young.
Look at Zucker. What, he paid his way on to the Three Lions now? Come on.
Harry Kane does, in that picture right there, looks similar to Kingsbury a little bit, doesn't he?
He does. He does have a Kingsbury. Like, by the way, when we take a look at players for like teams, like if you just said, give me British soccer player, like Harry Kane's face pops up. Like if you say, oh, that guy plays for Britain, it's Harry Kane. Like his whole look is exactly what I feel like English. Like he would have the hat on, defending the castle and stuff like that.
He needs a scarf too?
Yeah.
You think?
What are those, beef eaters? What do they call those guys that sit out front of the, defend the castle?
I don't know. Yeah. Here we go now. Yeah. Here we go. Yeah, Jeff would know. I don't know.
But that Congo looked like they were going to roll, and then all of a sudden, man, we just had some action on England. 2 goals there. Harry Kane in the 75th minute and the 86th minute, saving the day. And I love this too because understand this, Joe. I think you're the same way as me. It's fun to cheer on the upset until the upset actually happens. And I'm not knocking the Congo, even though I'm technically knocking the Congo. Did you want the Congo to advance? Or did you want... Joe, it's England and it's Mexico in Mexico City coming up. Like, the Congo would... Okay, No. England, Mexico City. I don't know what the ratings are going to be, but they're going to be damn high.
Well, they're going to be high because now you have a hot team in Mexico, which we saw won for the first time in 1986 to move and advance in the round, and they're a hot team. And England now one of the favorites, or at least was, even though if you ask Flash or some of the others, 7-1. But they answered the bell just the way Brazil did against Japan. And again, big picture, now they have a little bit of momentum. You wanted to see them respond, they did.
Yeah, no, it's impressive stuff in Belgium and Senegal. Again, not paying all that much attention to this one after England, getting ready to go to the game and what's not for me yesterday at the Phillies game. Yes, Senegal, Joe, 24th minute and 51st minute. Bang, 2-0. It's over. Belgium, see ya, goodbye. Lukaku scores. Thielman scores. And then a penalty shot in the 125th plus minute to get the job done 3-2 for Belgium. That was outrageous.
Yeah, I mean, amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. We had, and again, we knew that when we talked to Newbie yesterday, he had said a lot of goals. And this game was high scoring. You talk about it and what Senegal was able to do early, but again, not being able to hold on. And you just look at it, just an amazing game. I mean, high scoring, that's what you love to see.
Fantastic stuff. And also, sometimes, Joe, we can watch these games and say, hey, this looks like fun, but we need some help when we want to know the strategy of the games. And we got 3 more today, 3 o'clock, 7 o'clock, and 11 o'clock. Let's bring on Mina Rizuki here to help us out with some World Cup action on the docket today. It's Crossing Lines on a Thursday. Mina, welcome back into the show.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, we're excited. We're ready to go.
I'm representing Italy.
Look at Italian. Look at that. The best soccer player is Mina Rizuki because, by the way, Jeff always gets on this, Mina. Next World Cup, are we back on Italia? Is Italia back in here? Forza?
I don't think this is ever going to happen. There's also this curse that's happening as well. I mean, if you saw it, it's Italy, it's Germany, and it's another nation. Whoever's won it, I forgot, has not been able to win knockout matches after it. So there is a curse when it comes to winning it. Apparently not for Spain, though, because Spain continue to do well, and they are in action tonight. So let's see what happens there.
And again, we are having so much fun in this World Cup here. 3 more games on the docket in the knockout stage. As I said, 3 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Eastern, and 11 o'clock Eastern. Mina, let's start with game number 1. A heavy favorite, no surprise for the Spanish side here over Austria. You take a look at the over-under in this game, listed at 2.5. There's Lamine Yamal, 18 years old, scoring goals on the biggest stage here. What can we expect today from Spain and Austria?
Well, you're going to expect Austria to concede quite a few goals because their defense has been quite open in the group stage, and now they're facing what is considered one of the tournament favorites. Having said all of that, I don't think Spain have been really impressive in the group stage. They didn't have such a tough group when you consider Uruguay was probably perceived as the strongest alongside them, and they had their own blow up and massive problems going on in the dressing room there. But none of these performances suggest that they are completely fluent going forward, other than obviously the one that they managed against Saudi Arabia. But this is a Saudi Arabia who sacked their coach 2 months ago, who are out of all sorts. They've had multiple sackings and resignations now. So when you look at that, they do have Lamine Yamal. So when you looked at the first match, you thought it was just way too horizontal from them. And there wasn't against Cape Verde. There wasn't that vertical edge that they needed. That's why Lamine Yamal and Nico Williams become so important, because they convert all that possession into actually direct play. And they don't have a striker who pulls away attention. And so you're not really seeing, Morata might have not been the greatest clinical finisher of all time, but he was very intelligent in the way that he created space for his teammates. And I just think right now you're not seeing that. So there isn't as much attacking fluency as we usually expect. Lamine Yamal was very good, obviously, against Uruguay. But again, was he making every right decision? You can tell that he is a little bit rusty. He's still outstanding. So even his rustiness can never really be shown. But if you watch Lamine Yamal day in and day out, you know that this is not his optimum level right now. So having said that, is Austria strong enough? What Austria do have is that they convert their chances. They don't create many, but when they have them, they do convert them. Arnautovic is a wily and cunning striker going forward. So I imagine both teams to score an over 2.5, to be honest.
Mina, we talked about Austria being a significant underdog, plus 680 across multiple books. If they were able to strike the upset, how do you see them tactically going about it against a dominant Spain team?
They're going to have to they're going to have to try to defend, because defensively they are so wide open. So we're going to need them to actually bury down the hatchets in the first half an hour, try to stay strong and try to frustrate as much as possible. Because what ends up happening with Spain a lot of the times is that they just recycle possession over and over again, and they lack that ability to just go direct straight away. So I think Lamine Yamal, their wingers seem to be the players that you need to focus your most defensive attention on the most. But take your chances from your counterattacks. And they do press and they are aggressive, but you can't press them too much. This was actually the very topic that was being discussed in the dressing room at Uruguay, because Valverde had said to Marcelo Bielsa, if you ask us to press Spain, they're just going to destroy us. So it's about how they organize their pressing, making sure that sometimes they do drop into a low block, because trying to find space may be really difficult. And that's ideally what you need them to do, is suffocate them so that they don't have the spaces open to them, rather than attacking them high and pressing them high, because they will attack you. So it's whether or not Austria are good enough defensively, Because even against Algeria, I mean, listen, the last time I was on the show, I told you that Algeria has something, and a lot of people disagreed at the time, but you could see against Austria that they can score goals when it's open to them, even though that was a game many people thought there was a handshake on. But they do and can score goals. The problem with them is whether or not Petkovic puts them in the right formation. But for Austria, they are open defensively. So that needs a lot of work. And I think that they need to just make sure that they focus only on defense to open up with, and at least for the first 45 minutes, and try to see how much that they can really just bother Spain and force them into continuously recycling possession. Because are they going to just shoot from outside the box? Are they going to take their chances, or are they going to try to create the perfect finish?
Yeah, it's going to be fun to watch it here. Obviously, a high-powered side here in Spain, Mina. Let's take a look at the 7 o'clock Eastern game here in the U.S. once again. Actually, this one's in Toronto, Canada, a little bit north of the border. Portugal's going to take on Croatia. Portugal is the favorite, but the questions always come up now. We know Cristiano Ronaldo is one of the single best goal scorers in the history of the sport. But Mina, what happens when we get to the knockout stage? We don't see those goals anymore here from the Portugal superstar.
Yeah, and I think that that's been a topic of conversation more than the actual Portuguese side. Now, if you're basing it on squads and everything that we've seen so far, the best squad by far is France's side. I mean, this is a team that's just stacked with talent. But if you look at Portugal's, I would tell you that it's a close second. I mean, it's unbelievable the amount of talent that they have in the wide areas with the likes of Nuno Mendes, you've got João Neves, you've got Silva, Bruno Fernandes, obviously Ronaldo. There is so much talent within that side, and especially concentrated in the midfield. So we know that they can hold possession. But what you're often seeing from the side is just one that is not really hitting it, really having a tactic that's based around the strengths of the team. It kind of seems like they don't have a clear strategy of how they want to play games, because delivering crosses into the box, hoping that Ronaldo is going to score some of them, is not an effective strategy that extracts all the strengths from the players within that group. So they can create chances, but they're not creating enough, to be honest with you. Croatia is another side that keeps a lot of possession. So I'm worried this is going to be quite a dull game, in that both sides will be wrestling possession and there's just not enough shots on goal. But there should be, and Portugal ought to be the outright winner in this. So I think that it's going to be difficult, and there is a very big potential that this goes into extra time. It's the last time that we're going to see Luka Modric. He hasn't been so great at the start of it, but started to really find himself within this team. Croatia, people constantly talk about them as being this old side, but they do have players like Baturina who can make a difference. And you've got Perisic, who continues to be a wily old guy who can score goals or create assists. But listen, they're going to focus on trying to get Ronaldo to score, and I don't know whether that's going to be their downfall. Personally, I still think he's one of the greatest. It's just, are they creating enough for him to score? I think this is a Roberto Martinez problem more than it's a Ronaldo problem.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how that plays out. Croatia, very experienced as well. You mentioned potentially that this game, Mina, could go into extra time or potentially penalty kicks. Who has the edge? Is it Portugal, or is it in fact Croatia pushing the favorite to the limit?
Well, I mean, I don't know if anyone has. This has been one of the worst penalty shootouts, and we've seen so many strange penalty shootouts going on with people just missing the target, or we saw that with Germany, we saw that with Morocco and the Netherlands, just people not striking the ball well enough. So I don't. If experience lies in Croatia's side, but I mean, the far better technical team is Portugal. Like I said, I only think France is better in terms of squads. So for me, it should be Portugal winning it in the 90 minutes. At a stretch, they win it after penalties or extra time. They are the better team. This is the time to show what they are. I don't know whether the coach is having enough of a say in all of this, because it seems like Ronaldo's running everything within that side. But they have to exploit the strengths within that side, and they've got to just create as many opportunities as possible and potentially give somebody alongside Ronaldo to work with him, so that there are different alternatives and strategies to really deliver the ball into the back of the net, rather than just asking him to do everything. Maybe we can have Gonzalo Ramos alongside him, or somebody else who's also at the top that can divert attention away. But it should be Portugal, and it should be easy, but it just won't be.
Yeah, 3 games that, as we said, first one here for Spain to advance, Mina, minus 1,200, heavy favorites here. Portugal to advance, minus 310. Then we have Switzerland and Algeria, a little bit closer together. Switzerland is the favorite, minus 270 to advance today. An 11 o'clock Eastern start in the U.S. today. Switzerland and Algeria. Any ideas what we might getting out of this one here?
So here's the interesting thing. I mean, if you're talking about the architecture of Swiss football and who laid down the foundation of the national team, you're talking about Vladimir Petkovic, who is the coach of Algeria. No one understands Swiss football and the Swiss players and the dynamic within that dressing room better than the coach of Algeria. So that is saying something to be facing your former team, because it's going to make a difference. He's going to know the secrets and he's going to know how to exploit them as much as possible. Switzerland they're a very pragmatic team in many ways, but also one that is now gelling together. They know how to score goals. They know how to control the midfield. But Algeria have this various talents within the side. Ibrahim Maza, Riyad Mahrez. They haven't had Amora available to them, who was one of the top scorers in the Bundesliga for Wolfsburg, even though Wolfsburg had a terrible season. He was outstanding. And Amin Gouiri has been great for Marseille as well. So they do have goal scorers. They have talent within that team. It's just about, at times, it takes them about 45 minutes to get going. So I imagine Switzerland will start better, but Algeria always know how to find their feet. It's just about trying to tinker to find the right formation. Usually, I would have told you this is a Swiss win. But now that I know that, Algeria, the coach is Petkovic, who understands Switzerland better than anyone else, I think it gives them an edge. And this is definitely both teams to score an over. And if I'm going for a possible assist or goal scorer, it's Mansebi for Switzerland. He's been the guy right now to rely on.
Mina, out of all 6 teams that are playing today, which one do you give the best shot? I know you mentioned Portugal. Do they have the best shot against Argentina and France?
No one has a better shot. I'm sorry. No. It's going to be Argentina and France. I don't think Spain is good enough at the moment. I think Spain's reliant too much on Lamine Yamal in particular. And for Portugal, it's whether or not they can find themselves tactically, because I've seen nothing from them at the moment that suggests that they're going to go very far into this competition. So it is all France, and Argentina have been outstanding. Although having said all of that, I also don't think Argentina have faced very difficult opposition. So how good are they? But if I'm going to say one team, Portugal has the best squad, but I think Spain might be a better team overall in terms of balance.
Mina, we got a couple questions here because weekend action is coming up, and I love looking forward to absolutely monster games. We have one set up on Sunday evening from Mexico City. It's Mexico and England here. I love the fact, just for the layout, as I talked to Joe earlier, where if Congo won, that would have been fantastic, and that's great. But boy, yeah. Mexico, England, Sunday night, and Mexico has such an unbelievable advantage when they're playing in their home stadium here. Can you give us a few moments on the expectations this Sunday for Mexico and England?
Oh, it's going to be so difficult. I mean, the altitude will make such a difference. They tell us that you need 12 days in order to acclimatize to that situation. And England don't have that amount of time. And what is so interesting about Mexico is the home support, right? When they're angry with their team, you can really feel the tension, and it really ends up disturbing the players. But when they are in sync and they're playing the way that they're playing right now, and the support is behind them, there's nothing better. There is nothing better than the Mexican support. The kind of celebration and the encouragement that you get from that side, from their support, is so good for them. This is a team that hasn't conceded a single goal, that is flying in confidence right now, that's going to play a home advantage. The altitude will make a difference. The weather will make a difference. And again, with England, I mean, they really toiled against DR Congo. And what I think is so interesting is that no one has hated the hydration breaks more than England, and yet they needed the hydration breaks to be good. So they constantly needed Thomas Tuchel to give them instructions on the sidelines to say, this is what you need to do. You saw more shots on goal after the first hydration break, and then you saw an actual goal and the equalizer after the second. So honestly, and this is going to be crazy, but I do think Mexico will win this. I'm amazed to see how England do this, because the whole point is that they were supposed to play the English way under Thomas Tuchel. They were supposed to be a little bit more physical, a little bit more fast and direct. But with the way that Mexico is playing right now, yeah, I would put all my money on them, to be honest.
Wow, they're playing with house money, so they could be live.
Yeah.
I like the look, Mina. Monday night, we do have the U.S. They get the victory last night over Bosnia, lose their best player. Thoughts about that call? And more importantly, could they advance without him against Belgium?
Yeah, it's going to be difficult because he is by far the most outstanding player. I mean, look, you've still got Pulisic, you've still got a great team that's working perfectly together, whether it's McKennie or Tillman, who popped up with the most outstanding free kick that was really needed at that particular time. Is it a red card? I mean, I don't know. This is the problem with slow motion, right? Is that it always seems to exaggerate everything. So when you watch it in real time, you're not entirely sure. Obviously, if you're watching things in slow motion, then it does look like it's a red card. But these days, I mean, with the way that football is currently going, this is a red card. But in my personal belief, in the way that I've watched it, it's not. So, but he looked distraught, and I feel sorry for the USA in that match. But I'm not entirely sure Belgium are really a strong opponent at the moment. So I think this is going to be a great matchup because Belgium ought to have lost to Senegal. It's beggars belief that they managed to find 2 goals in the space of 5 minutes to actually take that game into extra time and then find the winner at the very end, which is controversial by every stretch of the imagination. Romelu Lukaku still makes the difference. He's made more appearances now for Belgium than he did for Napoli in his club season. And he is the difference maker. He does provoke a lot of chaos in the box and allows for space and for his teammates to really find him there. But I think this is a 50-50. Honestly, Belgium have always been considered this dark horse, but I've never seen them really play to their potential. And from all the teams that we've seen over the years in the last 8, I would say too, this is the weaker one. So this is a very, very good chance and very good timing for USA to do something special. But like you said, without their best player, is the team good enough to survive without him, or at least without that clinical finisher? I think it could be a 1-1, and what happens after that, I don't know, but I do think it starts at 1-1.
Fantastic stuff. They say knowledge is power, and Mina has a lot of knowledge, which means she has a lot of power. Thank you so much for joining us today on a Thursday on Crossing Lines. We love to have you. Great soccer insight. And once again, for the people out there that don't know Mina, where can they follow you on social media and what you got going on as well?
At Mina Rizuki on both X and Instagram. So
fantastic stuff, Mina. Yeah.
No Italy, unfortunately.
We got to get you back on. We'll root for Italia. Maybe the next World Cup we'll be screaming fours out here as well. That's Mina Rizuki. Fantastic stuff. We are going to take a quick break here on Crossing Lines. Come back and re-rack. It's time for some top stories. We'll be right back. We are going to re-rack in just a few moments here, as I said, on Crossing Lines on a Thursday. So many topics to get to with the top stories. But, Joe, we got some damage to be done possibly in Philadelphia at 100-degree temperatures. Quickly tell the people what you have going on, and then when we get to our baseball segment, I'll double down on that. But I know you got something cooking.
Yeah, I like the over. Now, I took the over. I altered it. Last night, it was 9.5 at minus 124. We talk about how the Phillies knocked around Skenes. They're starting to come around. Pirates can add some runs, too. Donnie, I think this game is a rocket ship. Jimmy Neutron special. 11.5, 12.5, 13.5. We saw 10.5s in the market, up and away for me as this game progresses.
Crazy. It is smoking hot in Philadelphia today. God bless the people that are going to that game in South Philadelphia for an afternoon. And by the way, the Pirates hopefully not wearing black uniforms today, man, because you will not make it through the third inning before you melt down on that field. But as we need to get to, Joe, it's top stories. And the top story of the day today, Jaylen Brown traded to the Philadelphia 76ers. Here it is, a tweet on the screen that you can see right now from Shams Charania. The Celtics have agreed to trade Jaylen Brown to the Philadelphia 76ers for Paul George, 2 first-round picks, 2 second-round picks, the source tells ESPN. Joe, when I got that news, I couldn't believe it. And let me preface this by saying once again, I've been a big-time critic of Jaylen Brown. But at the same time, Jaylen Brown gets traded to the Philadelphia 76ers. They are immediately, Joe, a better team. And once you have huge contracts like Paul George, which you didn't think you can get out from under, he gets moved. And also, while you have Joel Embiid making a ton of money, he needs support. He needs some help because he's not going to be there all season long. This was a grand slam home run, at least on paper, Joe, for the Philadelphia 76ers.
Oh, no doubt. I told you, when you see the draft picks that they gave, Donnie, think about this, and Boston's potentially in a rebuild as well, because with Tatum and nobody else, we'll see how it plays out. But, Philadelphia needed a guy that could take games over. And Jaylen Brown's exactly like Jalen Brunson for the New York Knicks. We saw that Brunson was able to bring the title back to New York in 53 years. This makes Philadelphia right there with the New York Knicks. I mean, you have Embiid, you have Jaylen Brown. He's a gamer. He steps up, and defensively, he's there. I mean, he is now potentially right there with Jalen Brunson. They are going to compete as potentially the two top scorers in the East.
Yeah, it's phenomenal to see it play out, because what this also means on the back end, the Sixers, look, I'm a Sixers fan. There's no love in that building for the past years, because you're just waiting for the next thing. And Joel Embiid felt like it was going to be that anchor contract along with Paul George, which you had to try because you're already in the pool, as we like to say. And now you look and say, as a Sixers fan myself, I'm excited once again for next year. I don't know what's going to happen. We have some people now talking as the Sixers as a top 2 or 3 seed in the East, even though the New York Knicks just won the championship here. So the fallout, Joe, we talk so much about the Sixers side, and look what they can do. We're going to get to some pieces in a few moments of who might actually join the team after Jaylen Brown as well. But let's go back to the Boston Celtics. The thinking here, Joe, was you should be able to get a haul that could reset your own franchise at the same time. 3 and 4 first-round picks here. Maybe a VJ Edgecombe coming back. They didn't get that. They got an aging veteran at the end of his time in Paul George, 2 first-round picks, which probably won't be that high if the expectations are the Sixers will be good over the next couple years with Jaylen Brown. What the heck were the Celtics thinking during this move?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's weird when you think about, if you have Tatum and you have Jaylen Brown in that lineup, then all of a sudden you have to say, okay, with a few other pieces potentially in free agent signings, they could compete right there with the likes of the New York Knicks. But they decide to get rid of one of their second best player on the team, and they ship him to a division opponent and contender. I just don't understand that. You get draft capital, but now that you're hoping that draft capital gives you exactly what Jaylen Brown has given you. Not only that, the locker room perspective, the veteran leadership, and the veteran experience is going to take time to develop. They just stuck in neutral right now. Do you think right now Boston would no matter who they draft in the coming years or whoever they put back in place, are they closer to Philly right now than they were 2 days ago? Absolutely not. They're behind them, right? They're behind the Knicks.
It's incredible to see now with all the changing of the guard. And that's what happens. Like, the Knicks built themselves the right way. They didn't tank. They went and got really good players, had an owner that was willing to spend money up into that second apron, and ended up winning a championship, a national championship, I wouldn't say, a world championship. But also at the same time, other teams have tried the tanking process, and it works and sometimes it doesn't. The process ultimately didn't work in Philadelphia. You might say it could have, Joe, if they got to an NBA Finals and just didn't win it. They can't even get past the second round. But this gives them a formidable lineup that I think makes a lot of sense. So if we skip down just a couple notches here, LeBron James now on the table for the Philadelphia 76ers.
Yeah, okay.
He said yesterday, Joe, right? Hey, you know what? I was really looking for a lot of money, Rich Paul. Now it turns out that LeBron James is saying, you know what? I think if it's the right situation, money doesn't matter, which means maybe a veteran mid-level exception at this point. You see the report from Barstool Sports. The Sixers have reached out to LeBron James and his camp, Joe.
Yeah, I tell you, we talked about the right fit for LeBron James. This is the potential right fit because you have a young veteran player in Jaylen Brown. You have a big man in Embiid, and I understand you can make the argument he's similar to AD where he can't play a full season, but he's still younger, and I think you have huge upside, especially now if he's motivated. And now you're going to add the second best player in the history, potentially, of the NBA behind Michael Jordan and LeBron James. I mean, hungry for a championship. This is a much better fit in Philadelphia for LeBron, Donnie, than I think going with potentially Donovan Mitchell and that garbage Cavalier team to potentially try and just compete with the New York Knicks as best team in the East. Not going to happen with the Cavaliers. With the Philadelphia 76ers, with Brown and the big man, they have a shot.
I'll tell you this as well. Jeff Nadu out there in the chat box saying hello to us here. Love to see the big man on campus. He doesn't want to be called that anymore, but I'm still always, I think I'm allowed to be the last person.
Allowed?
Yeah, I'm allowed to call him that. Nobody else is allowed to do that here. But at the same time, Jeff, the fun part about like gambling with Jeff over the years is Jeff's very good at what people don't want you to say on Twitter. And I get mad at him because I want to tweet him. Like, hey, you can't cash this ticket. Case in point. The Philadelphia Eagles are laying 3.5. Washington goes down the field, punches in a touchdown, 7-0. Jeff will then send a tweet out, say, game over, lost his ticket. Oh, well, all the squares beat the sharps at this point, right? Knowing full well he's trying to jinx it to come back. Yeah. But the reason I brought that up, Joe, is a few weeks ago, Jeff was screaming repeatedly on this show, the Sixers are the stupidest franchise in the history of sports. Then they fire their general manager. Now they're making championship moves. So the kibosh worked again, Joe. How about that?
That's good, though. You trim the fat and you start moving in the right direction. I mean, if the GM isn't getting it done, you get somebody in there that does make the proper moves and obviously has a vision for the team. And, you can make the argument with the Knicks. I mean, they bashed Dolan for how many years before he brought back the title this past year? And it was getting the right chemistry. It was getting those players that gel. Sometimes it's not just the best players. Yeah. It's the best players, but meshing and gelling in the locker room with the likes of young talent. And that's what the Knicks did this past year. Hart and obviously Brunson played together. They brought in Cat from Minnesota, and now you see what they were able to do. If they potentially bring in LeBron to Philadelphia as that cherry on top, could be. I tell you what, they would be worth a bet in the offseason now.
Like, I'm back in on this. Like, this is what I needed to be back in. Like, and again, Donnie's talking Sixers. Well, the Sixers are a hot topic right now. You can't fault me for that. But also, if this was your team in any sport, when you feel like it's going to be a lame duck season, you have nothing to cheer for. Because there's two things that you want in sports, right, Joe? If you're going to tank, we had fun with the process in Philadelphia because our world championship was every draft night if we hit the ping pong balls and got a top player. But everybody knows as being a fan, you're either building to win something which is so much fun, or you're tanking to get to the bottom to get some of those players. When you're in the middle, like, yeah, we might make the playoffs, we might not, but let's be honest, we're never going to win anything, Joe. That is the worst possible thing that you can do.
Well, let's make the assessment. That's Golden State, right? They're keeping on to their star players that are old, aging. They bring in older guys, and they never get younger, and they never move past neutral and get past where they need to be to compete with the likes of the Spurs and OKC in the West. That's the recipe to just going down into the abyss and purgatory. We see a ton of these teams do it. They don't want to get rid of talent because they feel like they're close to the program or organization. They have ties to them, but they're not adding value to the team for wins. That's what it comes down to. You have to put players on your roster that can equate and evaluate to wins. Forget the media hype. Nobody cares about that. Fans care about wins and losses. And if you're losing and not adding players that help or challenge a division or a championship, what are you doing? That's the goal.
By the way, and Joe, we talk a lot of prediction markets here, which I like to get a gauge where it's not like, hey, what's the betting line? It's what we think is going to be that contract price. The Cleveland Cavaliers are now the favorites at 42% to land LeBron James. The Warriors now in second at 32%. The Miami Heat at 13%, and the Sixers were actually up a little bit more, Joe, 7 to 8% at this point, but the Cavaliers still start. So before we move on to a couple quick topics, Joe, give me a quick answer. Cavs, Warriors, Heat, Sixers, or somebody else?
No, Sixers. I'll tell you why. Because if I'm LeBron, right, and I said New York when the LeBron news came out, LeBron doesn't want to be like an add-on to like a team that already won. Right? He wants to bring a championship back to a team that hasn't. Like if the New York Knicks haven't, like, let's say, lost to the Spurs, I could see LeBron going to the Knicks because he'd be the added piece to bring a championship. Well, that's gone now. So is he closer with the Cavs? I told you, Donovan Mitchell shoots 80 times a game, Donnie. He's a ball hog. I mean, there's not enough basketballs to go around when Donovan Mitchell decides he wants to take every shot. So again, 76ers now to compete with the Knicks isn't a bad bet right now.
Yeah, LeBron James. Other free agents outside of LeBron James here, Joe. How about Mitchell Robinson goes from New York City over to the Boston Celtics, and Kelly Oubre, who was a Philadelphia 76er, over to the Pacers. Other signings as well. The Lakers are picking up a lot of players here, just trying to build that team chemistry because they got more money to spend because LeBron James is out of town. So there you go. Lakers signed 4 players here, combined $71 million on average. Kessler, Grimes, Mamu Keshlashvili. I used to be able to pronounce that guy's name, but who did that guy play?
I don't know.
Who did he play for? Was it like Creighton? I don't remember. Seton Hall maybe. Was it Seton Hall?
It might have been. I got to double check.
And Colin Sexton 2 years. LA filling in the blanks here, Joe, as we like to say.
Filling in the blanks. But let me ask you this. Now that LeBron's not there, how much pressure on this organization to get back
it's all back on Luka. That used to be you're in the crossing hairs, Joe, with LeBron James, like he's always going to take the shrapnel. Right. He's no longer there. Watch out, Luka.
Well, here's the thing. Is it different than what Luka had in Dallas prior to him being traded and gone? I mean, it's the same situation. Can the Lakers win with this lineup right now? I know Jeff would probably have a better opinion. Jeff is great at the basketball expertise, but my point is, I'm looking at this, and if you have to bet this market, I'm not betting on the Lakers with just Luka right now. I wouldn't bet on them with Luka and LeBron and AD. Now you're going to bet on them as this place and this garbage team right now? I don't see it. There's a lot of pressure.
By the way, you're converting people in the chat box, Joe. Chris Warnett here. Look at that. Joe Lisi, the NBA expert. Who knew at this point now?
Right, who knew?
There you go.
We're talking about
basketball,
gambling.
Joe.
It's gambling. It's just
gambling.
numbers. Here's the thing what people don't realize when you just look at productivity. Yeah. If you lose a guy like LeBron, Lakers. Right? You lose LeBron. Let's say he's averaging 24 points a game. Whoever you decide to replace him with, it's not going to be 0, right? So it's going to be somewhere. Is it going to be 70%? Is it 80%? But can the team absorb that impact and still win games competitively? If they get younger and they're still getting 80 to 85% of the productivity that they would with LeBron, then they have a chance to potentially compete and over-exceed expectations. But if you're adding a garbage talent like Paul George at the end of his career, that doesn't help you in any way.
Yeah, it doesn't help you in any way. By the way, Joe, let's get to some breaking news action as it is. Well, technically it was breaking news last night, and we talked about it with Mina already. Round of 16, the United States of America rolling back up to Seattle, where they have some good luck on their side. They're going to take on Belgium without Balogun. Boo, Joe. Something's got it. And where's the people were saying, Joe, where's the Texas Tech judge to put Balogun in this game?
Well, they need him, right?
They do.
They need the Sorsby judge to get involved. But here's the thing. I mean, minus 112, they're still favorites in this matchup. It's a Monday night primetime game.
Beautiful.
All eyes on the prize.
Beautiful.
Now, I'm going to go contrarian here. Tell me if you think I'm nuts. We talk about Belgium playing these high-scoring games, right? 3-2 against Senegal. People are going to say, well, without their best player, maybe the U.S. is a little limited goal scoring. What if they go and have a little momentum? They start fast. I'm willing to take the over in this Monday night matchup.
Yeah. I'm rooting for you here. I think it might slow down a little bit. You have your best goal scorer not going to play for the U.S. I'm still going to be rooting on them. By the way, Jeff having a tough time out there. Why? Continues to fade the U.S., Jeff. He had plus 1.5 yesterday with Bosnia. By the way, if it's a 1-0 game, you got plus 1.5 in that game, and the other team has basically on a power play for 25 minutes, and you lose that, is that not a bad beat? Like, that's not the way it was supposed to go. Like, that's just things aren't going his way at this point.
It's like having a 5-on-3 in hockey for 10 minutes.
The other team scoring on you?
Right, and the goalie all of a sudden looks like what? Chico Rescher, Grant Fuhr back in the day, Patrick Roy.
All right, how about this, Joe? You know you love your college football. So do I. I love historic things. I don't like a lot of change necessarily, which means we've had some big-time conferences out there, Joe. So as I look at the Pac-12 conference, they're bringing back Pac-12 After Dark, which was such a cool thing, Joe. Late night action. Hey, man, you might get a little Stanford game out there on the West Coast. Wazoo, maybe a little Civil War going on. But now you take a look, Joe, and they go, hey, man, the new Pac-12. And let me just preface it by saying this. Get the out of here. That's what I want to say.
I'm not.
That's not the Pac-12, Joe. That's not the get the out of here, man.
I don't have that button. Get the. Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Donnie,
I mean, my goodness.
This is the Mountain West.
What is that? Why
here?
are they allowed to take the Pac-12 over? Just retire it here. This is not. When I used to Pac-12 football, I'm like, I know I'm getting Arizona State, Arizona, UCLA, USC. Now I'm getting trash can football under the same name. It's like, hey, the NFL's back. Ooh, it's going to be the Eagles and the Giants. No, it's going to be San Antonio versus Colorado Springs. Stop.
Let me just say this. I'll tell you, you know who missed their window of opportunity on that list? Boise State. You want to talk about just going backwards? When they knocked off Oklahoma and they were in the Fiesta Bowl, they should have been one of those teams to potentially jump from the Mountain West to a bigger type of Power 4, Power 5 type of league. And they never did. They missed their window of opportunity. Look at BYU. BYU joins the Big 12. They're competing for college football playoff appearances. Where Boise State, people forget, Boise State's done. I mean, Boise State is toast. The blue turf, all the aura.
Let's go back to the Microsystems PC Bowl. What did they used to host up there before the Idaho Potato Bowl? Because Miami played on the Smurf turf, like the Micron PC Bowl.
Every time Miami goes to a cold weather environment, they fold. Miami played Wisconsin in Yankee Stadium. They got smashed with
they didn't break. I mean, come on, man. They were trying to go out there, Joe, no shirts on. They freeze to death, kids.
That was Tennessee against Ohio.
This is our house. Oh, really? It's got blasted.
But Donnie, let me just say this. I feel so bad for Oregon State and Wazoo, how they railroaded both of those programs. Yeah. How all the commissioners of these conferences, all the school presidents of the Pac-12 should be really look themselves in the mirror. They abused both of these programs. They abused both of their coaches, Dickert and Jonathan Smith at the time, where they're now in different programs. Dickert's having great success at Wake Forest. Jonathan Smith's looking for a job after he blew Michigan State and East Lansing. Terrible. But these kids that were signed up to play Pac-12 football, and they railroaded them. And now they're back in this makeshift conference, which is ridiculous.
Oregon State built all those new facilities there, right, Joe? Expand their football stadium, research stadium, whatever it's called. Now it's like we probably can't even get 100 people in here, so we have a matchup with Utah State. Tough scene. Now, let's get to some mixes in here, Joe, because fashionistas we are. New helmet reveal, Joe. West Virginia. Look at Joe, clean, man. I like clean. That's very clean. Go ahead.
That's Rich Rod. That's Rich Rod. Now, when you have Coach Bowden on the show, you can ask him about Rich Rod. That was his offensive coordinator at ULM. He left Terry to go to Jacksonville State, and now he's at West Virginia. That's tight. I like that helmet with the West Virginia logo. Look at that. The state logo.
It looks beautiful. I people, they mess up a lot of uniforms. Like the NBA's king of, we're going to make a stupid ass uniform and put it out here on the streets and the people will buy it. That's a beautiful looking uniform where you're going to, is it Milan Piscar Stadium, Joe? What do they call it down there? What is it? What's the stadium name for West Virginia?
Don Neyland Stadium?
I think it's probably Neyland Field, right? I think it's Milan Plisker or something like that.
Yeah. Somebody look that up for names. Me. I mean, who cares? Just give me the spread and let's bet it. That's all I care about.
There you go. So yesterday, Joe had a little Georgia Tech action. We had a helmet reveal.
Now, Georgia Tech has one. Yeah. They have one. That gold uniform, gold helmet, gold pant, gold jersey is hot. It's tight. But outside of that, the rest stink.
It's all gold at this point now, but I like it. And again, Penn State, but let me ask you a quick question, because I know you were throwing at me some Penn State stuff, and their uniforms never really change. The one I got the biggest grifter in the history of college athletics was Bill O'Brien when he went to Penn State.
And they put the names on the jersey?
Yeah, correct. That's where I'm going with it. But he took that job at Penn State and acted stupid well, I took the job. I didn't know we were going to get the death penalty, basically. You freak. I'm I want to curse again, but I don't. You.
God.
I mean, come on. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and then he goes, we're going to, these kids deserve to have their names known. You put the jersey name on that. Why did, and then at least James Franklin came and was like, yo, come on. Enough with the charade over here. I don't like James Franklin, but let's get back to the basics. The jersey name for Penn State on that grifter, Bill O'Brien.
Yeah, well, Bill O'Brien, I mean, think about, he was supposed to be the second coming. He took over the program. And then look what happened. He had Christian Hackenberg. Remember, Hackenberg was, he was terrible with the Jets and everything else. Horrible. But how do you kill tradition? It's like changing Alabama's uniforms all of a sudden. Now, Penn State does put the numbers on like Alabama, but that's a retro look from like 1950, pre-Joe Paterno, I think, that they put on the numbers on the helmet. But when you have the names on the back of the jersey, that's horrible. Notre Dame did that with some of their jerseys too, Donnie, with the
when they wear the green at Notre Dame
and the gold. I mean, can we just keep the traditional unis the way they should be?
How about this, Joe? We stop with the uniforms here. I mean, who would have think like a professional franchise would go from Kelly green to midnight green? That would be stupid. Oh, yeah, that's right. My Philadelphia Eagles did it. That's for another case. But, Joe, Wimbledon is out playing right now. For me, like, I joke with this. I know a lot of people on social media. I know a lot of players that love tennis at this point. The best part about tennis is when the tournament is over for me, Joe. How about that? That's the best part.
Look, I used to watch it back in the day. What's so funny about I don't get it. What happened? That's crazy, Donnie.
Look at that. He's a joker. I mean, come on now at this point, Joker.
Come on.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, hey, Wimbledon's on. Let me know when it's over. That's my take on that.
Is John McEnroe, Bjorn Borg, and Jimmy Connors
Jimmy Connors out there. Get him out there. Yeah. Go back to the old school guys.
Yeah,
how about Michael Chang winning the French Open in the early 90s? And come on, let's get these players back. Pete Sampras. Where's the great American players? Where's the great American players here? There are none. Ben Shelton? I mean, get Shelter with Shelter.
The problem is, Donnie, is that it's a rich boy sport. We know that, the tennis. It's just like golf, and now you see golf going mainstream. Maybe it'll take tennis a little bit.
Again, man, you play tennis on grass? What kind of sport is that? On grass? Get out of here. Give me a hard court,
They cut the grass.
Give it a hard court.
Here's what I don't understand.
Go ahead.
Explain it. I don't understand how you can have a great player on clay, and then all of a sudden he sucks on grass. How is that?
Yeah.
Or
Nadal's just good at everything.
Yeah, but he's playing on clay. He sucks all of a sudden. Why?
What, Joe? You didn't have clay? Like, I had a clay court in my backyard growing up in Somerdale, New Jersey. I mean, come on now.
But on the clay, you could slide. Is that what it is?
You can. Joe, the hammies go on clay. Let me tell you something right now. You try to go get it, but you might slide into the bleachers at that point.
Is that what it is? You have good form? He's like a fly in Wallander with the butterfly.
Yeah. By the way, did you see when Walinda fell off in like Puerto Rico, the grandfather, man?
Yes, I saw that.
Scene, man.
Now, did you see this? I know we didn't put it in the rundown. Like a week ago, the U.S. won floor hockey. Did you see that?
No, like the deck hockey? Yeah. So we're taking everything from Canada? Are we taking everything from Canada?
Donnie, I think I could play in a floor hockey league. I mean, honestly, I think I could be
How about a rollerblade? Did you rollerblade back in the day?
No, anything.
Tough
I
to
did
do, man.
take skating a couple of times. Floor hockey, give me the stuff. I think I could stop it. I have a great glove.
On good, how about a waffle board? Did you use like little waffle board as a goalie back in the day? You know what I mean?
With the blocker, you mean?
Yeah.
The blocker.
Exactly.
And I did play floor hockey back in the U.S. won, and I'll send you the tweet for like the first time in like 50 years. How is that possible?
Look, we're taking everything from Canada at this point here. But you know what else we're taking, Joe? Let me go live to the city of brotherly love today to get the people an update on 100+ degree temperature day, Joe. No runs here, people melting out here, but there's still time. There's still attrition. We'll see what works out. But did you know last night, me being at the game, by the time I got to my seat, it was 5-0. I told my wife and my kid driving over to that game, this might be the best pitching matchup you will ever see in your life. It's Zach Wheeler and it's Paul Skenes. Look at the final score of that game. Looked like an idiot yesterday. Skenes never gave up more runs ever than yesterday. Yeah, Dad, he's a great pitcher.
10-6. Yeah, Dad, great assessment, right? Yeah. He got smashed yesterday. Yeah. I will say this: by the fourth inning, if there's no runs, I'm dead to rights in this game. I'm gonna be like Jeff and call it a loser. I still feel like we have life. I think the Met game came on yesterday against the Blue Jays. It took them a few innings to get a little loose. Same thing here. Let them shake off the ring rust of last night. By the fourth inning, I'll let you know if we have life.
Yeah, looking at the chat box, I know T-Knot was in here, and he said he got a miracle win yesterday on Belgium, over 2.5 goals and the win, which they had no goals to score too late. Then they won in extras on a penalty kick. Same thing for me yesterday, Joe. Taking a look at my two team totals, which I've been running wild in baseball. It's been so much fun. And my favorite part about it, too, Joe, so I've been around the block a long time. I've had services that paid for picks. You had to come get it that way, winning and losing, whatever it might be. You know what I really enjoy now? Since I began tracking and really getting back into the handicapping game June 19th, we're up over, I think it's 12 coming into today. I wrote it down. It's all over my Twitter there. About 12 units that I'm up. But every day posting that card where you can see it, be well before the games, and get down and have some fun. And talk about the team totals I had yesterday, Joe. San Francisco Giants late night. No runs entering into the fifth inning. What do they finish with? 6 runs, catches in that team total. I had a dead to rights loser on the Detroit Tigers yesterday, up 2-0 heading into the ninth inning. I need over 4.5. They're going to win this game. 2-2, it goes to extras, Joe. They go through the 10th inning. Nobody even scored. Get to the 11th inning there, and all of a sudden I pick up 4 runs here and a couple late 2-out base hits here, which cashes that ticket. So yesterday, one for the good guys. Continue those good runs here, man. I'm excited.
Yeah, and I hit the over technically, even though I altered it to 10.5 to get the pre-pitch total in that Giant game was 9.5, juice to the under at minus 114. So if you took the over, you cashed it 6-4. I think I'm 3-2 on totals on the show. So we'll try to nail it. Hopefully we go 4-2 with today's action. But you're right. The one thing I love about baseball, and I love totals, the reason why is I can't watch 9 innings of baseball. Can't do it. I like to watch it on the phone. Give me runs. Yeah. I hate rooting for an under, so I just pick overs. But my point is, the extra innings with the runner on second for baseball is similar to the college football old rules, where they used to start on the 25 and have 8 overtimes, 9 overtimes. Back, not the 9 overtimes, Illinois and Penn State, where you start on the 2-yard line and have to convert a 2-point conversion.
Stupid.
No total is safe when you go to extras. Let me just say that.
Oh, I call it the backboard, Joe. If you take unders and you get burned on, that's fine. And by the way, I have no idea why you can't bet, Joe, baseball games that finish at 9 innings. How many, you know what I mean? You have the under, it's 1-1. You nailed it. And you go, wait a second, I went to extras and they scored 8 runs.
Right.
You should be able to do that. Yeah, another thing. But we were going to talk a little bit more about that Pittsburgh Phillies game. Obviously already underway. Heat stroke out there for the people. We'll cheer on Joe to try to get some runs. But again, a couple of games I wanted to talk about, Joe. One starts in the afternoon, 3:10 Eastern. Miami and Colorado. I think yesterday, I didn't see the final score in that game. Was it 6-3? I want to say it ended up. Where Colorado picked up a victory yesterday. So it was under 10 runs in that game. 85-degree temperatures today. But my focus is going to be a fade on Michael Lorenzen. Now, typically, I did already hit this week, Joe, a Marlins team total over at the Rockies. That's not where I'm going to go today. Michael Lorenzen's last 112 batters that he's faced, a 204 ISO against and a 364 weighted on base percentage. K numbers are decent. It's about 20%, which is where you want to be. So typically you'd say, okay, well, what's that total? Going to be 5.5 for the Marlins, need 6 runs to cash it. I'm going to stay away, Joe. I'm going to go 2 RBI props in this game, which I already put out on Twitter at the Rightside, and also hit the at crossing X lines as well, if you guys want to follow along. Kyle Stowers, his last 89 at-bats, Joe, against right-handed pitching. How about this as a lefty? A 260 ISO and a 387 weighted on base percentage. I'm going power today. Another lefty in the lineup, Joe, Owen Casey. 64 plate appearances against righties over the past month, a 316 ISO and a 366 weighted on base percentage. The only thing I don't like is they have 2 high K rates for those guys, but one of those 2 to get an RBI, that's all we're fishing for, Joe. No, 104 on Stowers, 144 on Casey. Just give me one of the 2, give me 2, we got it.
Now, 2 of the 3 games sailed through the total, right? So they had an off night. It was 6-3. I double-checked that. But when you look at this pitching matchup, Donnie, I mean, they tacked a flat 12 on this game across multiple books. I think it sails through the total again. I think 3 of the 4 games go through. I think we're live. It could get up to 15, 16 runs. Marlins have been tacking on runs. So I'm with you. This is a total. Again, I'm keeping an eye on the Philly game. But once this game starts a little bit later, I'm going to be on the total and probably altered to 14.5 in that area.
You're having some fun in Major League Baseball. One more game, Joe, I want to take a look at tonight. Again, be up late. You might be watching some soccer action. Flip it over to San Diego Padres taking on the Los Angeles Dodgers tonight. Now, you might be looking at a side in this one and say, well, where would you go? Well, Dodgers, let's call it a minus 200 favorite. Are they probably going to win? Yes. Have they run away with that division from the Padres? Yes, they have. But if you take a look at the matchups tonight, Joe, Randy Vasquez, I think he's the worst pitcher on the card tonight. Last 30 days against, let's just say, 105 batters, lefties and righties combined. A 284 ISO and a 456 weighted on base percentage against. His K ratio, 12%, which means the ball is going to be in play. Guys on the Dodgers that have rocked right-handed pitching over the past month, Shohei Ohtani, Freddie Freeman, Mookie Betts, Max Muncy's been decent, Kyle Tucker on fire, Tommy Edman, Dalton Rushing here. So if I'm going to get, let's just call it weighted on base percentages, Joe, 7 out of the 9 batters to the plus, I'll take a team total with the Dodgers tonight coming in at 4.5 at a minus 130 price. Vasquez should get hit around. I think it's a spot to do it. Limited card today, Joseph, for me. Only 2 RBI props and 1 team total. I'll roll that way.
Donnie, it's a good look. I mean, they got wrapped in Chicago yesterday. They put up 23 runs against the Padres.
Yeah.
That total was 12. Donnie, they had that by the 4th inning, the Cubs did against the Padres. I mean, obviously now it's interstate, rivalry, and we know the Padres and Dodgers love playing against each other. You have a flat 9, and to your point with Vasquez getting knocked around, I mean, the Dodgers have been knocking the cover off the baseball. They had a great series offensively against the Athletics. They come back home, and you have a suspect pitcher. This game could be in the teens as well, so I'm keeping an eye on it. I'm not going to play it pre-pitch, but if I get a scoreless first inning and this dips to 8.5 or even a flat 8, I'm going to potentially take it.
Yeah, no, it looks fun. Anything else, Joe, on that Major League Baseball card before we flip it over to get some of these hot trending topics that the people are going to like today?
The only other total I looked at today, and I put it in a parlay, and I'm a little nervous, but, the Guardian game against the White Sox, 8.5, it's a flat, minus 110 flat either way. But you look at it, the Guardians did break out. I told you I liked the total with DeGrom on the mound against Texas. I know it went contrarian, but I think they could do it again. I think they could get through this total in Chicago, a pretty good hitting team. That's the other total I played with the Phillies and obviously the Marlins today.
All right, Joe, let's ring the bell because it's trending coming up, and I feel like, we don't have any live scoring basically to go over, so I got to hit the button for this because I got some topics that you're going to love today. Now, typically, as we go into it, we mix it up with everything. We don't like to get too political, obviously, racist, because that doesn't make any sense. But when topics come up, Joe, that make no sense, we got to talk about them.
All right.
Stephen A. Smith, in what world would it be okay to go in the air and say...
Your 3 top players are white dudes? Really? This ain't golf. This ain't base dudes. Your 3 top players are white dudes?
See that?
Really?
Now cut Stephen A's mic on this right now. Like, Joe, do you see where we're going with this? Like, can't you just say, I don't think there's enough talent or whatever it is? The fact that he's building an argument by saying you can't win an NBA championship if you got white dudes on here. You can't say that. You can't do that.
No, I mean, that's just sparking some controversy. And at the end of the day, we know there's pressure on the Lakers organization to step up, Donnie. Again, they're under a microscope now. This is it. LeBron has told the team he wants to move on. They have certain players like Luka that are going to have to carry the torch. But again, is Luka alone solely with the core that they just shown good enough to compete for a West championship right now? No, but that's not needed. There's no reason to go down that road. Talk about the athletic ability. Talk about the court and their ability to guard or get wins and losses. Don't talk about race. That's
but here's the thing with it too, because we understand how this business works. He's very calculated. He's made a lot of money doing stuff like this. Why we're talking about it on crossing lines because Key said it there. He knew exactly what the intent was. You can't say that, but I guess you can say that, and that's what's good for ratings at this point, Joe. Now, let's get to some other things. I am deathly afraid of heights, Joe. I've told stories many times.
I don't know. I can't stand heights. I don't like
Joe, booking restaurants where I can't sit near the ledge, or like going to the mall and looking over the third railing, like I can't do this here. I watched a Netflix documentary a couple years ago about this couple that all they did was break into these buildings and climb up the most ridiculous. I can't imagine your brain function allows you to do this, but some people obviously can do it. Did you see, Joe? They went up to the top of the Empire State Building, unfurled a flag, then decided to get married here. And when I remember watching, I was like, these two are idiots. But I didn't know at the time it was the people from the Netflix. Joe, what are we doing? It makes my stomach cringe right now watching this.
How is this possible?
I don't know.
Okay, here's the thing.
Look at that.
You know when you go to a baseball game.
Is that Jackson Dart?
You know when you go to a baseball game or another sporting event and you're in the nosebleeds, there's wind blowing, and that's when you're sitting down, right? These people are on the top of one of the highest buildings in the country.
And they went up the spire, Joe. All the way up the spire.
Harness. Donnie, what if you have to go to the bathroom? What do you do then? There is no way you would get me up there. I don't care how much money, harness, no harness. I'm scared just looking at it. What I don't understand is how they don't lose their balance.
I don't know. Joe, I'm telling you, did you watch the Netflix documentary? Did you watch the Netflix?
No, I know.
I'm telling you, tonight, Joe, watch it, because it's something that I can't comprehend. Like the Alex Honnold guy, I guess, that was climbing El Capitan with no, ropes. And then he climbed the building. Right. I'm fascinated because there's got to be something inside your brain that shuts off the function of this is really high. And I have the opposite of that. Like if I climb on my roof, I'm scared to death and just get the sweats. This guy's on top of the Empire State Building with no harness, and they're like, it's no big deal. But Joe, they've done this on multiple buildings, and the most ridiculous. It literally, watching it makes my stomach hurt here. But I thought it was a great topic to bring up.
It's
now,
crazy.
Joe,
it's nuts.
We're in the pizza capital, I consider, of the world. Forget about Italy. Italy doesn't make good pizza. Shout it out. I'm sorry about that. Italy doesn't make good pizza. We make good pizza here in the Northeast. And I'm talking about New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Connecticut, and also New York. Free pizza here, Joe. Now, me as a pizza snob, somehow yesterday there was if the U.S. gets a red card in this game, we're going to give away 60,000 free medium pizzas. That was Domino's. So I say this, Joe. Did they end up with 120,000 back because nobody wanted to eat that crap pizza at this point? But I mean, I respect the game giving away those pizzas. But if you're coming around my house with a Domino's pizza, I'm throwing it back at you like a Frisbee, Joe. So open the box, Frisbee it back.
So like if you have a party, let's just say, and there's pizza involved, or you go and the person has Domino's, you're leaving.
I'm leaving.
Right.
Same thing, Joe. If I go to your house and you have a cookout and I see you put them frozen hockey pucks on, we're leaving. Now get back to your story. I'm leaving. Yeah.
Listen, filet mignon burgers only. I go to the butcher.
Fresh.
Filet mignon burgers. We do it right.
Wagyu.
And obviously we do the sirloins and we do all the steaks the right way. Correct. But I did hear you say that. But with the pizza, Donnie, there's people that want free pizza. Do I think it's pizza? No, the thin crust isn't bad. I mean, I wouldn't eat it anyway.
Can't have it.
If you tell me we're going out for pizza, Donnie, you better be taking me to Mulberry Street or somewhere in the top 5 in Jersey to get a slice. Now, I did go to one of the top 5 in Jersey. I didn't think it was all that good.
Really? Where did you go?
I don't want to tell you. You want me to tell you?
Yeah, I want you to tell you. We do pizza reviews right here, man. I love pizza. I go to the top shops.
Now, I haven't had pizza in a while because of the carbs.
Yeah, you
moron.
But
I brought the family. My mom was craving pizza, so we did pizza one night. Federici's.
Wow. Frankie Feds.
No, not Frankie Feds.
There you go. Federici's. I haven't been there. Like coming home from home, though, I never was able to hit there, but I hit some good spots at this point. But
it's
I love
crust,
pizza.
But it
I love
didn't really move me. It didn't really move me.
Shout out Johnny's Pies, Medford, best ever here. Maybe if you're down in my area, I'll take you out for a slice, Joe. Get yourself a pizza at this point.
You're going to put the hot honey on it?
You know what? I've had hot honey pepperoni pizza, which I will tolerate, but you know me, I'm a pizza snob. Yeah. Just plain pizza or tomato pie, that's it. Get everytheverything out in front of my face here. No,
I saw you tweeted some
I've
guy
worked with
the
kids in the
pizza.
past. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Hey, man, cheese pizza. You use, you know what I mean? You're going to come around me. Hold on, Joe. Let me tee it up here. You want to come around and use cheese pizza? Stop it, man. We're not doing that here. By the way, watching the U.S. soccer team. Yeah. I get a kick out of this. Pochettino, I love the guy, man. I mean, this guy can maybe coach wherever he wants. You want to coach a college basketball team? This guy can do it. NFL team, he can do it. The guy's got the U.S.
Lasso?
Look at him. Joe, same outfit. Is he superstitious?
Yes,
absolutely. I love it. By the way, I love the outfit. I love it. I got to buy this. Where can I find it? Where can we find it?
Belichick.
Yeah, where can we find it?
Well, I'm sure that looks like a Pac-Sun type of deal.
Can I get that at Kohl's? I love Kohl's. Can I get that outfit at Kohl's?
Yeah, I mean, I think Kohl's is slightly overpriced. Yeah, if you ask me I think that's a Pac-Sun. That looks unique.
I love it. I love the look every time coming out. It looks like he's buying it.
But it's the same out. You notice it's a different T-shirt underneath. Look, versus
well, I mean, he's got to be washing it, right? He's not just going out there saying we don't wash this thing.
With his amount of paycheck, he can't have to say like.
What is his paycheck, by the way? Do we know? He's got a big time.
I mean, for the U.S. men's national team, he's got to be making him what, $2-3 million? No,
man, it's a good paycheck, right? I mean, worth every penny right now, Joe. I mean, what's the ROI on Team USA right now? It's absolutely fantastic right now.
What did Herb Brooks make back in the day?
$25.
20 G's. 20 G's.
Exactly. For the entire 4-year run of the Olympics. You know what I mean? That's it, man. Come on, Herb. Again. Now, Joe, you want to ruffle some feathers right now?
Yeah, I do.
You want to do it?
God, let's do it.
I love tradition. I love a good song. I love something we can rally behind.
Right.
I'm not saying this is a bad song, Joe. I'm just saying it ain't right for Team USA. Country Roads, listening? After a win, it's nice, but it focuses on West Virginia. It doesn't bring us all in. So I'm going to ask you what you think of Country Roads, which is West Virginia's song, as a national song that people are getting behind, or should we be doing better here?
Doing better. I mean, I'm not moved by Country Roads. I think it's better than what we saw with Rich Rod in the West Virginia helmet. I think we should go, keep it geographically in West Virginia. But again, if that's what they have adopted, that's fine. I just think there's better U.S. songs out there. Now, I'm going through my head. I mean, I could think of a few.
And again, Joe, I come prepared. Like, you probably turn the TV on for yourself at 11:59, get in here, and don't do any work on the show. But for me, I do a lot of work on this. So I got 6. I got 5, and then 1 outside of it here. So I'm going to go just outside of the top 5. You'll get a kick out of this, which I think you can bring in the younger generation and they would enjoy this. Miley Cyrus, Party in the USA, Joe. Party in the USA.
I don't like
I got my hands up, playing my song. Butterflies fly away.
Doesn't make the cut for me.
It doesn't? Okay.
No.
It didn't actually make the cut for me either. I just had to throw that out there because I needed more than 5. Number 5. From around the world, they coming to America. Neil Diamond. Neil Diamond. Come on. We're talking Neil Diamond. Number 5.
Come on,
they're coming to America. Look, the chat box is joining in as well at this point. Man, I love it. This is a good topic.
Gen Z, we got young America. People watching. You're going to throw out Neil Diamond?
Around the world.
Is he still alive? He is,
I don't
right?
know. Is he? Is he still alive? Like, I don't want to get this wrong at this point. Is he? I mean, we might need it. We might need to. If he's not, we got to dig him up, Joe, and have him sing the song for us there after the game. How about maybe a laser show for the guy? You know.
All right. So what else do you have? Let me hear
Number
this.
4.
Go ahead.
Philadelphia freedom. Now, granted, it's Philadelphia. It's freedom. It's the 4th of July. That fits right into it here, though. Elton John. Elton John.
Keep going. No.
Philadelphia. Anything with Philadelphia is going to win my heart. All right. You ready for number 3?
Yes.
James Brown, Rocky 4.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Living
in America. Coast to coast.
All right.
Now, see, that you can buy. Apollo Creed dance. Yes. Balogun dancing around like Apollo Creed.
All right. I like it. No, I like it. I'm all in with James Brown being top 5.
They're jumping me in the chat box too.
I wouldn't have him number 2. Go ahead. What's
That's
your number
3?
1?
Number 2. Now that was number 3, Joe. Stop jumping me on these right now.
Oh, you did
number
6,
2.
That's why.
Born in the USA, Springsteen. I'm not a big Springsteen guy.
I don't like
Born
Springsteen.
in the boom. But by the way, like I don't know if that would fit because some of the players on the soccer team aren't even born in the USA. So maybe, but just USA is in it. So I had to put that at number 2.
Now
who even knows if we're born? Balogun was born in the USA. There you go.
Springsteen is Captain Jersey. He's a big, freehold
Stone
guy.
Pony guy.
I don't even think he's a good singer. I think he screams and I'm not a Springsteen guy. You want to put him in the top 5? I don't have a problem with it, but I can't put him in 2.
How about this one, Joe? Number 1. Bang, 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 bang. Bang, bang, bang. The Eye of the Tiger. Survivor, man. Woo! End of the game. You popped that on. You put the Rocky montage on where he's knocking bums out left and right. That Mick set up for him.
All right, so wait a second. Okay. You just went through the Rocky soundtrack,
it's
right?
The Eye of the Tiger. It's the thrill of the fight. Yes.
So there's no. Let me just make sure. All right. In your top 5, you have Neil Diamond and James Brown.
Yes.
Okay. You don't have any Sweet Home Alabama.
No, because I need something better than that,
in there.
But I don't like West Virginia in there. That's what I'm telling you. I don't want West Virginia in there. I even had the penalty on Philadelphia Freedom. I don't need it in there.
You said you put the other song in there.
By the way, how about this one? Now, if ever, I guess Russia was allowed to play, as I guess they're sanctioned, so they can't make the World Cup. I don't know how it works at this point. Not getting political, but you start off, Joe. 2 rival nations.
Oh,
come on. 2 worlds collide. Rival nations. Just put what I'm saying here, really, Joe, is just put the Rocky soundtrack on for everybody for the entire show. Come on.
Soundtrack for the U.S. All right, so that's it. U.S. versus Russia. There you go. You got the Rocky soundtrack. Look,
is it East versus West or man against man? Come on.
Incredible.
Is any nation stand alone?
You couldn't wait to bash me. Oh, I do prep for the show. You just looked at the songs.
By the way, that is a fantastic trending section that your boy right now, Joe, from this show. Yeah. I'm learning day by day on these editing skills that I have. So
you're only going to cut yours.
Here's me right now, Joe. Here's me. Look at me. Look at the screen. There's me. That's me.
That's you.
That's me editing right there. That's me editing.
You love these clips, and I love them. I notice now. You take the trending topics. We got Donnie's take on everything, and then you cut me
I
out.
Cut you off. We can't have too much Alicia on this stuff. I even got Jeff probably yelling at me I'm not in these clips. Jeff, you're not even on the show right now. How could you be in the clips? And he's got to air drop them in there. By the way, you ever been on a plane and air drop the wrong photo to everybody, Joe? Get yourself in trouble.
Yeah, probably.
I don't have an iPhone, man. Android City.
It happened to me a long time ago, but hey, it is what it is. I will say, it's Sweet Home Alabama's got to be on there.
It's a good one, but it does say Alabama. But again, if you want to go 1 through 5 Rocky songs, just play the Rocky soundtrack the entire time. Okay.
Half the kids on that team don't even know who Rocky is.
Oh, they'll learn quick. They'll learn quick.
All right. If they beat Bosnia, what are they going to be singing then?
We got to fly the game. If they beat, they did beat Bosnia. You idiot.
Not Bosnia, Belgium. If they beat Belgium on
Monday. Beat Belgium. We're rolling thick. Now, Joe has been hosting the show and doing a great job this week. Friday, we're going to be going all out, but sometimes people I even get the question, what's Nadu been doing? Did he quit the show? Did he leave the show? No, he's actually been out in Las Vegas. So he doesn't want us to follow him around. I'll follow him around on social media. There you go. There's a meal, Joe. Now, for me, I'm not a sushi guy, but I know people will probably look at that and be you know what? Wagyu with aioli and pepper and crab. Pepper and crab. How about that?
Right, there you go.
What do you think about that meal?
So
low carb.
Let me just say this: I love Jeff. I love the fact that he went all out, and that looks like a phenomenal meal. I don't do soy. I don't do any of the Japanese.
Not a soy boy.
No, I'm not a soy boy. And not only that, I'm going to take it a step further now.
Yeah.
I do not, and a lot of people might argue with me.
Okay.
I don't like Wagyu anything. Like, to me, I know they say it's more tastier and it's obviously aged better. It's a better cut of meat. I think it's fattier. So for me, I'm not a big fan of Wagyu steak burgers. So that's just a personal assessment.
Now, how about poker this week, Jeff? Or for poker for Jeff, Joe, which is what he's out there for at this point. I don't think we cashed in the main event here at this point, and I believe he's out. I don't know what he's doing today. I guess it's Thursday, and then Friday's out there, so maybe a couple cash games that he has left. But if we have the picture of Jeff at the poker table, like live, like this is what draws the people in. This is what gets the attention. It's been floating around social media where he's sitting at the table, sunglasses on, ready to roll.
Really? Well, that's great. Yeah. Now, to your point about Nate Duke playing poker, we don't have it. All right. Here's another story I read, and I was going to send it to you. Did you know this? In a high-stakes poker tournament game behind closed doors, supposedly Spider-Man Tobey Maguire won $15.6 million from a billionaire, from a Texas billionaire, and he didn't collect. The billionaire didn't want to pay him.
There you go.
What are you going to do? He sued him.
Yeah, what are you going to do? Hold that up in court? It's like they told Paulie in Goodfellas, right?
Shoot him.
They're the police for the people that can't go to the police.
He won, Donnie. He paid the lawyer $500,000.
And does he got to pay taxes on that winning now, even though it was an illegal cash game? Are we going to jail?
Maybe it's not real.
Molly's game?
They said that Maguire was one of the under the radar, one of the hottest poker players ever.
Wow. You ever watch Molly's game?
No.
The movie?
No.
Not bad.
What was the other one? Rounders? That was a
Rounders,
good movie.
Fantastic. Yeah, I watched it a million times at this
Rounders
point. Pay the man his money. That's what Jeff was doing out there. You think Jeff's playing in these leagues with Grandma? Like Grandma's chasing Jeff around?
Hopefully he's smashing. Hopefully he's taking names and just smashing down everybody.
And by the way, I'll leave you. We're going to leave him with this here. Like, women need to support their men. You know where I'm going with this. Like, I watch all the Rocky movies, repeatedly here.
So
hey, not very supportive, Adrian. Like, never wants a guy to fight. Never wants a guy to live his life. Always bringing him down. Which just brings me to Rounders. Like the girlfriend in Rounders, man. Let the guy gamble. Like, why is she always up his ass?
Well, that's the problem. She didn't want the heat. Which go back to the movie Heat. Remember what Neil said. Don't go with somebody you can't drop in 30 seconds flat. Remember that? They're making the remake.
I mean,
too.
There's a lot of women probably watching this show, Joe, because we are eye candy on this network at this point right now. Like they're watching right now. Support your man out here. Like my wife doesn't. By the way, if I ask like my wife, like, hey, what's his job? She don't know. I don't think my wife has watched a bit of my content in a decade, Joe.
She loves you,
she loves me, but she don't love my drive for stuff. I check in with her all day long with what she's doing at her job. She never once asked me how my day went at my job.
I don't know about that. Now, see, I'm not going to open up a can of worms here. I'm not going to do that. Don't make me do it.
Well, here's what we are going to do. We're going to wrap this show up right now. An hour and a half that went by, it felt like 30 seconds. The heat is on in Major League Baseball. The heat is on here in New Jersey where Joe and I are located. The heat is on all over the place. Why? Because it's crossing lines. And all we ask you to do, if you're watching live right now, hit the retweet button here. If you're watching through social media, if you're on Rumble, which our Rumble numbers are up right now, love that as well. If you are on here, YouTube, every single day, the subs are going higher and higher and higher. We're bringing the heat. We're having some fun in the summer, keeping you guys on that steady wavelength until we get the football season. That'll do it for today's show. He's Joe Lisi at Go for the Two. I'm Donnie Rightside at Donnie Rightside. We are crossing lines at Crossing X Lines on social media. Make sure you hit the retweets here. And you know what? We're going to see you tomorrow once again on a great Friday show at 12 noon Eastern. See you then.